Hello and welcome to Love Hate Film, a show all about films good, bad and indeed ugly.
Yep, whether you love them or hate them, this is the place for you.
Yeah, and today we are doing the coveted Oscar special.
Yeah, hey, which we are lovingly calling the Marmites. So the first ever Marmite Awards.
Because just like Love Hate Film, with Marmite, the popular yeasty product that it is, you either love it or you hate it.
Yep, and with the choices that happened in the Oscars last night, you either love the choice that won or you hate it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see and go through a couple of categories. We're only choosing four. The main ones: Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Director, Best Film, and we'll go through what was up. We'll say who won and whether we think it is a love Marmite or a hate Marmite.
Yeah, but for starting off with a bit of a story, funny enough, because I let the side down. A bit of a funny anecdote here. So I knew it was on. This is the best of it. I knew it was on. In fact, actually, we were a night early, weren't we?
Yeah, we thought it was on the night before, but it wasn't.
Yep, and I stayed up, midnight, rolled around, bit tired. We both got work the next day, and we both said, right, we're going to be in for the run. And sure enough, midnight rolls around, and I only see the highlights on or something or other, and totally miss the plot. Pete, on the other hand,
Stayed on, watched it all. Great.
yeah, so if he's looking a bit fatigued, and I'm not, it's because I had a lovely sleep.
And I didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's jump in then. So a couple of shout outs first that I want to mention that happened last night. I thought first off it was a great show. Jimmy Kimmel was awesome. Laid into Harvey Weinstein.
He
Top
did.
moment.
He
I thought
did.
that was
like
good.
a champ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in. I think they gave it to him for his second year because he was good safe hands after the debacle at the end of the last one. He handled it really well, so fair play, and he came back and he did a great job.
And this is the thing, you know, he's sort of like the modern Letterman, is what I was saying. He's the good old-timey Frank Carson sort of, you know, everyday American family guy, isn't
He's
he?
safe hands,
you know,
yeah.
so he's safe hands. He's going to be PC. Whereas, funny enough, they tried a similar thing with Seth MacFarlane a few years ago.
Didn't work.
It didn't, and he actually called out the Weinstein thing as a joke a bit earlier on, so before its time.
Yeah,
There you go.
He knew what was going on.
Yeah. And speaking, of course, of Jimmy Kimmel, the host, he went straight into it, didn't he?
Yeah.
There was no holding punches.
But he was good. I thought he did well.
It was, yeah.
So a couple of other things I want to mention about the Oscars as well. A shout out to Life After Hollyoaks. If you are in that tribe, then you can come out of it. You can have a career. So best live action short film went to a couple that made it. She was in Hollyoaks. His fiance, they made it about, it's called The Silent Child, and it's Rachel Shenton even. And yeah, she won for a portrayal of deaf children and they're growing up in silence. So fair play to that.
Yeah.
Well done for coming out of the quagmire of Hollyoaks.
And the acceptance speech, of course, was signed. And it went to raise an awareness. It was a fantastic film overall. And what's more, one for the Brits.
Yeah.
You know, they did them proud. And what's more, we represented, and, you know, for international viewers out there, sorry, maybe not. But no, seriously, it represented and it did well. Good on its own merits, wasn't it? So,
well worth it.
good solid 10.
Fair play.
Yeah.
And then nominated 14 times, and the first win that he got last night for Best Cinematography, which was Roger Deakins for Blade Runner 2049.
My God. And how long did it take?
Well, 14 other times.
14 attempts. And you know what as well, everything he does, this is the best of it, is visually stunning. The original Blade Runner, we've talked about it, of course, and if you haven't seen, we'll pop the link down in the description, but I say if you go through our channel, you'll find the Blade Runner review. We touched on it. It was stunningly beautiful. It's long overdue. So
he had a lot to live up to trying to emulate that, and how good the original was, and he did really well. So fair play, well deserved. Moving on to our first category then. So we're going to start with Best Actress.
Yep.
So the nominees for this were, there was
La La Land.
No, definitely not.
Oh, sorry.
Wrong envelope. So it was Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird. You've got Margot Robbie for I, Tonya. Meryl Streep, Don't Get Me Started.
Pete, this is the 2010 list.
No, it's not.
Sorry, there's a technical difficulty. Kidding. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, we'll cut that out.
That's it.
Sally Hawkins, The Shape of Water, and then Frances McDermott for 3 Billboards.
Yeah. And, of course, the winner, absolutely hands down, Frances McDermott, 3 Billboards. Second win post. Oh, sorry, name escapes me now.
She won for Fargo in
Fargo.
1997.
Yeah, of course. Which was then rebooted fairly recently as well. So
TV series.
yeah, maybe. Do you think there's a little bit of a correlation sometimes? Sometimes if you sort of reboot the series, maybe that then sparks an interest in the original. People then become more associated with her name as the modern thing. I mean, the film stood out on its own merits, no doubt. But do you think there's a thing behind it, maybe?
No, I think she just did really well in the role.
There you go. There you go.
So she did win. Her main competition, though, was Sally Hawkins, and the two...
Yes.
Yeah, the 2 parts couldn't have been more different. There's obviously Sally Hawkins, no speech in it whatsoever. Everything that she does is visual through her face and shows her emotions. Brilliant. And then Frances McDermott, very monologue-y, lots of script in there, delivered fantastically well.
And somebody that's visually stunning all over just for me in general, Margot Robbie. I mean, although as the I, Tonya, do you not think she did encapsulate it? This is the thing. So it was tough competition, but this is the thing. Frances McDormand, she'd come out trumps, and even in terms of speech, she raised.
Great speech.
Oh, fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, she did do well.
Funny enough, I don't know if anybody's read on this, but there was an interesting thing to do with viewing trends on Google. Now, there is a popular phrase post the Oscars. There usually is, of course, there's usually an incident to Google. Everyone wants to know what went on. And she left us with 2 words, didn't she?
She did indeed.
Yeah. Which, what was it? It was Equality Rider or
That's
something
the one.
to that effect. Yeah. Basically meaning that there's a clause that the actors, actresses, artists can put within their contract that means that it will be a equally purported movie in terms of, race, creed, religion, whatever. And it's a fantastic thing, although some might see it as a challenge. Interesting thing, nobody had heard of it, and even Frances McDormand, through until the other day, said she wasn't aware of it. Now it's one of them spiked trending terms.
Yeah, rightly so.
And it really has kicked off something revolutionary. I mean, she had the crowd standing.
Yep.
She had your favourite to lead the procession, Meryl Streep.
Meryl, oh my God, Streep.
Meryl, oh my, yeah. There's as I say, love, hate film, all about films, good, bad, and indeed ugly. Meryl Streep, not a fan indeed.
No, I'm not. Don't get me wrong, she's good. She obviously has to be good. She's won, 3 Oscars, and she's been nominated a record 21 times, but it just enough is enough.
Into the woods, yes we go, into the woods.
Yeah, if she ended up in a TV advert for soap powder, she'd get an Oscar nod for it. So you could, in 1 year, she was a witch singing in the woods, and she got nominated for an Oscar. It was in 2014. What is that all about?
But then again, death becomes
just because it's Meryl.
Just because it's Meryl. But then again, look at death becomes a Bruce Willis, Goldie Hawn, good cast. So weigh it up, man.
Yeah, she's done better than that. So what she won for was better than that. But I've had enough of Meryl Streep. Stop nominating Meryl Streep.
There you go. And it's not often that we get Pete Wilde. The Wookiee is normally the one to voice his... But anyway, moving swiftly on. So yeah, that was Best Actress. And moving on, of course, then to Best Actor accordingly.
Yep. So nomos for this are Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out. Brilliant.
Which, once again, we've talked of his back catalogue before. Black Panther review. Absolutely fantastic actor.
Really good.
A grade.
Timothée Chalamet, Call Me By Your Name, really good young actor. There's going to be good things coming from him. You can see that he's going to go far. Daniel Day-Lewis, Phantom Thread, and then Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour.
Of course, yeah. And Daniel Day-Lewis, of course, the irony that Mr. Previous Oscar extraordinaire, now just a mere nominee. And what's more, for his swan song, it was, he's confirmed his last film.
Yep. And he went out on a dud note.
He went out on a dud note. There's like a sort of scene in Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote. That's Daniel Day-Lewis's career. You know what? The best bit is we're saying it, and yet you know what? He probably shits gold in comparative to me and you.
Yeah, fully, and he can act a lot better than we can. But anyway, not anymore because he don't act now.
Yeah. So our 60 strong YouTube audience, which we hope to grow. Please remember, like, share, and get the word out there.
Comment. Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis is out the picture. We are free to go.
So the winner in this one was Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour.
He took it
It
home.
was only ever him or Daniel that was going to win, which is a shame because we forgot to mention Denzel Washington as well. He was nominated as well. 8 nominations in total. He's won twice before.
Yeah, Glory and Training Day.
Yeah, so both good films, both there. But yeah, he's had past success. Daniel Day-Lewis had past success. Gary Oldman won once.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't won before. This was his first one, but he was nominated for Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
That's right. Yeah.
And yeah, well deserved, well liked chap in Hollywood circles as far as I'm aware. So fair play.
And took it once again. A Night for the Brits took it home a little bit in terms of the accent.
Put the kettle on, mum.
Put the kettle on, mum. Yeah. Nice cuppa. He knows what it's about. He's a good old boy, Gary Oldman, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done some good films as well. Leon, I thought he was particularly good in, but
Batman. I mean, for me, that was stellar.
Yeah, he's a good in that.
But it's interesting because it was also a winner for best makeup as well, I believe.
For his, yeah, it was indeed.
I think it was something like 6 hours of transformation. I mean, he's quite a lean guy, Churchill. He's bordering B-word fat. The man saved the nation, but he was fond of his
cake.
His cake, his brandy and cigars. Yeah, but they sort of did encapsulate this nice little sort of personal side to him. I guess we all know him as this sort of, we will fight them on the beaches. We know him for his Tommy gun, his impending pose. Yeah, and he sort of brought a little bit of a funnier aspect.
Human nature. He showed the other side to him, so it was good. He deserved it. Probably always streets ahead. He'd won pretty much every other one, won the BAFTA for it as well. So he was more than likely odds-on favourite in the bookies. I'm sure if you like to flutter, you'd probably get some not very good odds on him. But there you go. Yeah,
and in fact, actually, I want to start something. Comments below, because I've just had a thought to myself, and the thing that I liked about the role was that it wasn't although he did do the
big bits,
the big bits, that everybody knows.
Speech is beach,
He did the soft bit, and who can do Churchill having a friendly chuckle over up your arse or whatever the term was for the V sign? I mean, who can have him doing this lovely B-word fat or blah, 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 blah. There's not many people who can pull off this sort of joyous side. I mean, there's been people that have played him in Inglourious Basterds who, I believe it was quite a famous actor who played him as a cameo.
John Lithgow.
Was it John Lithgow?
I don't know. He's played him before.
It was never John Lithgow.
I don't know him.
Yeah, but yeah, comments below, because
let us know, because I don't know.
Is there anybody that you think has played a role and they've played that person perfectly, but they encapsulated the side that you didn't know about, the side that wasn't seen for whatever reason in this person's sort of biopic? They've had to portray somebody, they've done it fantastically, but not on the merits that you would have necessarily thought they'd encapsulate. Yeah,
good question.
And love and hate, we want good and bad. So yeah, go for it. I mean, Meryl Streep, Margaret Thatcher, there you go.
Well, she got a nod for that, didn't she?
She did get a nod for that.
Didn't she win it? Didn't she win for that? Yeah, she won for that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
enough of Meryl Streep before you go into a rage.
So, best director then.
Best
Next
director.
Category, best director. So, nomos for this.
This got me excited.
Paul Thomas Anderson, Phantom Thread, Christopher Nolan, Dunkirk, Greta Gerwig, Lady Bird, Jordan Peele, Get Out, and then Guillermo del Toro for The Shape of Water.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am a huge Del Toro fan, absolutely. I love Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
For me, it's a 12 out of 10. It's a cinematic masterpiece. Hellboy, any creation that he's got this lovely sort of monstery effect. And The Shape of Water, what's more, want to cover it.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a review of that coming up soon. So watch this space for that one because it is well worth it.
Yeah.
And well, he won Best Director for this, so for The Shape of Water. So it's got to be one that will do well. Shout out to Greta Gerwig as well. The 5th time ever a woman has been nominated for Best Director. And when you think that's been over 600 nominees, to be one of only 5 good skills, and one woman has only ever won it.
It's quite an achievement, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure in the movement that's happening in Hollywood at the moment, that will change that demographic very quickly, hopefully, because she did do really well. Lady Bird, quirky relationship, mother and daughter film, but good on its merits.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, going back as well to the winner, because you were up against some serious competition within this category, but what made it win? Now, the Oscars themselves had a little bit of a pre-theme, if you will, a bit of a black and white film noir, 1940s, lovely man commenting on the lovely crowd, sort of a moment. And this, of course, does go back to the golden age of cinema and sort of the beast man from the lake, the swamp monster.
It is an old school Hollywood love story, although it is between a woman and a fish. And
when you break it down, I suppose it is, yes. But
it's even filmed in a nostalgic filter. When you look at it, it does look quite 50s Hollywood, the way that it's done.
It does. And of course, it's something that he's huge on, is that sort of old age of, the golden age of monsters. Your Frankenstein, your Benikoff, was it Benikoff? All of your great movie monsters. That's his inspiration. And he actually pitched this years ago as a love story, a little known fact, and the studio just hated it. It's, well, what if the swamp monster, as you know him from all these good old films, they're on board. Well, what if he fell in love? Fish-man relationship. Whereas adding this little sort of subtle nuance to it, somehow they got on board. And it worked.
Yeah, he thanked. I think he said it was Fox Searchlight. He thanked them for how ludicrous a pitch it was, and they still did it anyway. So that was in his speech. It was a good speech he did.
And he's nobody's fool. He checked the envelope, especially given who was.
You've just given away the winner of the next category.
Of course, for those who
that's what you did it.
Yeah, for those who don't know about the La La Land incident, which I'm assuming watching an Oscars special you probably do. It was a funny little throwback, of course, presenting the award.
Just checking.
Yeah.
So it was Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty got them back to present the next award. So nice segue into the next award, which is Best Picture, which is what they did present. We've given away who won, but the other nominees are Lady Bird, Call Me By Your Name, The Post, Get Out, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Phantom Thread, Dunkirk, The Darkest Hour, and then The Shape of Water. To be fair, the most open category for best film in easily the last 20 years. You could pretty much predict all the others. This one, you couldn't. It was just towards the end, which The Shape of Water started to become the favourite. But yeah, the most open category for a good long time. Good to see so many good films.
Yeah.
All vying for that space, and not one film taking the lot. It was a good even spread.
Yeah, that's it. Pardon the pun with Marmite as well. So moving swiftly on to what we think should be our loves and hates within this.
Yeah. So if we start with Best Picture then, I gotta say, I'll give that a love Marmite because it is a good film. Does have that nostalgic atmosphere. It is a little bit quirky. The performances are great, especially from the actress. So yeah, I'll go with love on that.
Yeah,
I don't think I would have picked any of the other films above it.
Oh, yeah, that's it. And once again, I mean, tough competition, but it stands out. That's the main factor. It stands out. I mean, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, Get Out was good. That was never going to win. It's a horror film, and the one and only horror film that's ever won is Silence of the Lambs, or in that type of genre. So it was never going to win, but at least Jordan Peele got Best Original Screenplay, which in the Oscars usually goes on to win Best Film, but it was never going to do it in this category.
Absolutely, and what's more, I think, was... quite a revelation, because was it not the first black actor black sort of director to receive such an award?
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah, so trend-setting as well.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah.
So, if we then go to Best Director, then I know you're going to say this is a Love Marmite because you love Guillermo.
So, I'll start with it. Best Director. Bam, ends, done.
I'll go with that. I like the other directors. It would have been nice if Greta Gerwig won, but no, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Let's do Best Actor then.
Yeah.
Well, you take it.
Yeah, so Best Actor, you know what, it's very, very hard this year, because the Oscars, they have been on point.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, we already said he was only ever going to be the person that won that Oscar. Was it the best? I don't know, I like Daniel Kaluuya.
I know, funny enough, you know, I'm going to have to give it a Marmite. I'm going to have to give it the veggie Marmite. I'm going to have to give it the coveted. Nobody likes it.
No.
Nobody likes it. It tastes of shit. It just tastes of fucking cardboard. So you know what, Daniel Kaluuya, you get our thumbs up. You get our commented Marmite award. We think you should have won.
Yeah, definitely love Marmite.
Yep.
And then finally, Best Actress then. So I'm going to thank the Academy for not letting Meryl win. And I'm going to say she was always going to win it. Frances McDermott, but do I agree with it? Did I think that Sally Hawkins deserved it more? Probably, because she did really, really well, and Frances has been there and done these things before, whereas Sally Hawkins I thought was awesome, and the fact that it was all through her emotions, through her facial expressions, rather than through long speeches of sadness, I think that is a better performance, but there was only ever going to be one winner.
That's it. And you know what, likewise, I've got to agree to the point where, Frances, I'm sorry, but you're not going to get a Vegemite. You can share with Sally.
Oh, I agree.
Because Sally, you took it back to the sort of mime, lovely chapter. I'm a big fan of sort of silent era. In fact, one of my favourite films is The Jazz Singer.
Really?
And it's the sort of Al Jolson, I believe it's the first talkie, or the first film in sort of surround, something to that effect. But it's just this marvellous idea of people then hearing sound, and from there it was a downward spiral. Back in the day, you only had your facial expressions to rely on, and about obviously she signs within it. There's a fantastic little signing how to do fuck you, which I think they even showed on the trailers, on the Green Man trailers. So, you know, if you want to get back at your teachers or whatever, you know, just learn a bit. Just hope to God your teachers not sign language.
Not seen the film, because then you're in trouble.
Yeah, or sign language, or deaf for that matter. If you've got a deaf teacher, oof, you're in for it there. But Sally, yeah, absolutely, I think well deserving.
To be fair, Frances McDermott's speech would have been and was better than what Sally Hawkins would have done. So yeah, for just the speech alone, and probably gives it to her by a nose, but they can share.
And honourable mention for Margot Robbie, and I'm available. My phone number is below. What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
And
so,
with that,
yeah, that was our Oscars roundup. Marmites, what we loved, what we hated. If you agree or disagree, put it in the comments. And if you've got anything to say on any of these films, write your own review at LoveHateFilms.com.
Absolutely. And you know what, guys? We do want to get some participation. So please, please, please comment below. Let us know what we're doing. Let us know what you want to see.
Somebody other than Simon. Simon, we love your comments, but anybody else would be great.
Yeah, in fact, actually a little shout out, because that's a nice little thing to do. Nice little final thought to Sean and Simon. Shawnee boy, Thank you very much, Mr. Singh. Much appreciated.
And we'll talk to you soon.
And for now, bye-bye.